Welcome to WVTC TV Network, capturing family moments in real time, bringing families closer together from the comforts of home. We are unleashing something different to the world. Start your subscription today for the low price of $4.99 per month or $55 annually. Go to www.wvtctvnetwork.com to sign up today. WVTC TV Network is streaming live on 8 different platforms. You can easily download the WVTC TV Network app on the Apple Store, Play Store, Roku, Fire TV, and more. Here at WVTC TV, we have access to movies that everyone can enjoy, including independent films, Sons of a Preacher and a Good Thing, Treasures of Life, the epic drama, The Passion of the Christ, and the box office hit Madagascar Escape to Africa. Remember, go to www.wvtctvnetwork.com and sign up today.
Good evening. I am Edward Jones, and this is
Latanya Jones.
And this is the Family Phirst podcast. Well, we are back with another week, another episode. I am so glad that you have decided to join us one more evening. And so for tonight, we're going to talk about something appropriate for this week. We know that this coming Sunday is Super Bowl Sunday.
Yes.
And people are going to be watching the Eagles versus the Chiefs come Sunday. And they will be rooting for their team of choice. And so we decided that tonight we will talk about how in our relationships, how we are or can be good teammates one to another, and how we can support one another so that our relationships win. Because what did we say earlier? Teamwork makes the dream work.
Yes, it does.
So we are going to talk about that. And we just are so grateful for those of you that are tuning in and giving us your continued support. So we see you out there. And so we are waiting to have a great conversation about that. All right, so let's talk about teamwork, being partners and teammates. What does that mean to you, being a teammate and being a partner?
Oh, wow. Definitely, I would say it's just having an understanding. I think, first of all, like, what is your role? When you think about a team, everyone has a specific role that they play. Your quarterback, running back, all of that, right? So you have your different positions.
She didn't know all the million positions before she met me. She met me, became a sports fan, became a football fan.
All of a sudden.
Yeah.
But I just something I just thought about, that everyone has a certain role that they play on the team. And, just like with the quarterback, he has the group that supports him. Every person has a specific role, something that they're supposed to do, and they all have a group that support them, which helps them win the game.
Right.
And so I think in a marriage and a family, we have to understand our roles. Now, some women, some men may not like that. Because we live in a society right now that says there's no such thing as the gender roles, and women can do what the men do and vice versa. To each his own.
Right.
I think I'm a little bit old school in that I do believe that we have different roles that we play in the household.
Yeah.
And if we work together, in our specific roles, then we help our household win.
That's good.
So I that's how I see teamwork, especially as it relates to marriage, as it relates to family.
Yeah, I agree with you 100% that everybody has their role, and one role is not more significant than the other. The
Right.
roles are just different.
Right.
And if I don't do my role
Right.
because I want to do yours, then we both fail.
Right.
And nobody wins. I can just imagine if the offensive line decided on this, but you know what? I don't want to block.
Right.
I want to get back there and throw the pass,
Right.
And nobody is going to be successful because there's a team on the other side
Right.
that's trying to make you fail.
Right. Exactly.
And we have an adversary on the other side that is trying to sack us and tackle us for losses. And so we have to know our roles and what are we equipped to do.
Right.
And our lives and our experiences help us know what we are equipped to do. And so, and then there's some things that each of us can do, but we don't because it's better suited that the other does. For example, you don't take out the garbage.
Mm-mm.
No.
Nope.
It's not that she does not have two hands and two legs and she's not able-bodied. That's not that she can't do it, but that is a role that I have taken on in our relationship. Now, when the kids are home, that gets passed on down to them.
Right.
But that is not something that you do in our household. And so we have to figure out how to support each other. I say all the time that I want to be your biggest cheerleader. Now, watch this. This is a important part too, is that in our relationship, we're both not on the field at the same time.
No.
There could be situations where if we switch from football to basketball, and everybody's talking about the new trade between the Lakers and the Mavericks.
Yeah.
Everybody is not on the court at the same time, regardless if you're the star of the team or not. Sometimes you got to take a breather. So what does the star do, or what does the player do when they're on the bench? They should be supporting those that are out there on the court playing. So I cannot be mad if you are my teammate and we're trying to win together. If you are out on the court succeeding, I'm supposed to be your loudest cheerleader, your biggest supporter, getting the crowd up out of their seats on your behalf to encourage you. So those are things that are important, because not only are there times that we're both in the game at the same time doing our separate roles, but other times that you're in the game and I'm on the sideline, but I still have to cheer you, and vice versa.
And it's realizing too, hey, we're on the same team.
Yeah.
We are not on opposing sides.
Yeah.
We are on the same team. So we're doing this together. So you supporting me supporting you, regardless, that's going to help us win.
Right.
And so I think that's just something to remember. Like when you talked about there's certain things that only I can do versus things that you can do. Like only you can be daddy.
Right.
I don't care. Again, so what's popular in society today, it says, oh, well, the woman, she can be the husband and the wife. She can be the mama and the daddy.
Mama and daddy.
I just
can't.
I don't see how that's possible.
It's not.
I don't see how that's
you could be the best mother you can be.
Yes.
And you can do all the things that you can't do as a mother.
Absolutely.
But you can't be father.
But I can't be father. And again, we have 5 kids. So if there's anybody new that's watching, we have 5 children. We have 2 sets of twins. We have boys, twin boys. And one thing that I realized early on in just raising my boys is that there are certain things that I can give them as a mama. But then there are certain things that I can't give them that they need to become a man. That's his job. And so I think, again, when we start to realize that and understand, again, we're part of this team and we work together, that there are certain things that you can do that I can't do. And guess what? I respect that.
That's good.
I respect that. Just like that I'm mama.
That's right.
And there are things that I can do that you can't.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And that's why in our relationships, we support one another.
Right.
I don't get mad if one of the kids runs to you first.
Right.
Because there are certain things that you can do that I can't. There's something that they need from you at that particular time.
Right.
And so that's why, once again, if you're comfortable in your own shoes, then you don't have to worry about somebody else's.
Right.
And something else that goes along with being a good partner and being a good teammate is really pushing the other to be successful and however they can be. It's seeing the good and the potential in your mate. Sometimes we think about pushing our children to be the best as that they can be. We think about wanting the best for them and putting them in all the activities and doing all the things for our children. And at the same time, we should be doing that for our partner as well.
Absolutely.
If I see that you are gifted in something that has your attention, something that you value, something that interests you, then I need to push you toward it. I need to encourage you in it. I remember when you first got into cricket, with shirts and cups and all that stuff. And that's a good Women of Grace mug that you, Stanley, that you did. But when you first got into it, and you said, well, I really want to, do this. And I said, so what do you need? And well, this, but it kind of costs. And I was, I don't care. I'm going to get you the best that you want so that you can, and you learn it on the fly, things of that nature. I remember when just with school and academics, if that's what you want to do, pursue it. Push you, and I'm going to help you do whatever you need to do.
Absolutely.
And that's how we need to be with each other. And you're the same way with me. If there is anything that I want to attempt, anything that I want to try, you might not understand it, but you're going to support me wholeheartedly.
Absolutely.
But that's what it means to be a good partner, a good teammate.
And another thing, and that's really good, another thing that I thought of, when you think about football, what do they do after a game? When they're practicing, they go in and they watch the videos. They play back the games. They study the plays. They have their playbook. And they use that to help them be successful. We need the same thing, I think, in marriage. We got to have our individual playbooks, right? I need to study you. What do you need? Because everyone is different.
That's good.
Right? So really taking the time to study you, to see what you need, to see what you like, what you don't like. What's your love language? How do you receive love? How do you like communication?
Right.
What is the best way for me to communicate with you? All those things, it takes time. It's not something that that comes overnight.
Right.
But the more that I'm with you, the more I'm intentional, the more that I'm spending time and I'm in your space, then I'm starting to really learn and develop the playbook on Edward Jones.
Yeah, and that's good. That's excellent, because the playbook, no two teams have the same playbook.
Yeah.
You got two teams that are going to be playing against each other, the Eagles and the Chiefs. The Chiefs playbook is different than the Eagles playbook.
Absolutely.
But each of their playbooks are curtailed to the skills and talents of each of their teams. The skill and the propensity for the Eagles to run the ball with Saquon Barkley is different than the Chiefs' ability to throw the ball with Patrick Mahomes.
Right.
And so, because since the strength of the Eagles is Barkley, a running back, their playbook is going to reflect that. And so, in the Chiefs, their strength is Mahomes. Their playbook is going to reflect that. So we have to look at our relationship and say, this is what works for us. This is the capabilities of our team. And so we are going to construct our playbook based upon that. So just because you do most of the cooking in our house, that's our playbook. But somebody else's household, the husband or the male might be
different,
might be a chef.
Yeah.
And so, because of their makeup of their team is different, that might be, their playbook is going to be different. So every team, every relationship
is going to look different.
Is going to look different.
Yeah.
But the bottom line is, you're a team.
Right.
You're a team. You are trying to make sure that the entire team is successful. And one thing that I love also about that, the team dynamic, is at Christmas time, normally the quarterback, for example, and running backs, because they depend so much on their offensive lines. At Christmas, the quarterbacks will buy their linemen expensive gifts.
Yeah.
The running backs will buy their linemen expensive gifts, because that's their way of saying, you might not be recognized about how important you are. Your name doesn't get called unless you make a mistake. Your name, you're never going to run the touchdown. You're not going to throw for the touchdown.
Right.
Your jerseys aren't going to be on sale with, at the store. Nobody is running to buy the offensive guard's jersey unless it's a family member.
Right.
So, they're looking to get the jersey of the star running back or quarterback or wide receiver or something like that. But that is their way of saying, you're valuable, and I would not be able to do what I do
without
you.
Yeah.
And our relationship should be the same way. As much as people like to give me a pat on the back, so, hey, Pastor Jones, you're doing a great job, and this, that, and other, I can't do what I do without you. As much as people see and give you compliments, you always say, you know what, without Edward Jones. And so we acknowledge that we are successful in different areas, but at the same time, we acknowledge the fact that it's because of our great teammate that we're able to be successful, and we don't take our teammate for granted.
Yeah, that's important. And that's something that, as a married couple, you have to do. And you have to be able to acknowledge, I can't do what I do, without you, and vice versa. Again, because our roles are different. And where I'm weak in my areas, that's where you're strong, and vice versa. And so it's just a blessing how God designs marriage and how he designs our relationships. It's just a beautiful thing. And so we have to definitely be able to acknowledge that and see that and know it's okay. So as the wife, it doesn't mean that you have to try to do everything or you feel like you need to do everything, because you don't. You know, and it's the same thing for the man. The man was not designed to do everything either.
Right.
You know, but we're designed to actually work together as a team.
That's good. Yeah, I mean, the Bible says, you know, I don't like to get super, you know, Bible thumping, you know, in our talks and our conversations, but God said after He had made Adam, it's not good that men be alone or all one. That everything that was the potential of all things were in Adam, and so I just imagine that. At one day Adam was chasing a lion or tiger or chasing a rabbit, something around the garden, and as he's chasing the rabbit in the garden, he runs past some flowers and he stops in the middle of chasing the rabbit and says, let me sniff these flowers. And God said, wait a second, whoa. It's not good that man be all one. All this stuff. We're gonna take some of this stuff out of him. But he needs it, so I'm going to take it out of him and give it back to him. And so he can still go chase after the rabbit, and then the other part of him can smell the flowers, but that person will come back to him, and that will be the totality of what he needs. And so whatever we need, if we are attuned, we'll realize that our partner or our mate has the things that God wants us to have in our lives, things that are missing in our lives. And that's why we have to allow our partners to be who they are and realize that they may have a different skill set than we do. And I was also thinking about how things begin with a game plan. You practice all week. You figure that your opponent is going to do X, Y, and Z, and the game starts, and your opponent is not doing X, Y, and Z. Your opponent is doing A, B, C. And now what you have to do is adjust your game plan. You adjust what you plan to do because you want to be successful. And so I think about how there are so many times that we thought things were going to go one way and things went the other. And we did not go at each other's throat. We just said, okay, we got to adjust this game plan.
Right.
And that kind of goes along with what we were talking about a couple of weeks ago with conflict. Sometimes we have conflict because we don't know how to trust our teammate and adjust our game plan. It's a bad thing if you're on the basketball court, and thank you, Treese. If you're on the basketball court and you won't pass the ball to a teammate because you feel that they can't shoot. They could be wide open, but you don't trust them with the ball.
Especially in them last few seconds of the game.
And so we have to, and I know that we are in Chicago, and this is Michael Jordan Capital, and we cannot say anything bad about Mike. And by the same token, we cannot say anything good about LeBron James. We cannot do that. But what I will say, regardless of, I'm not even in the conversation of who the better player is and all the accolades or whatever. There is something to be said about making the right play.
Yes.
Regardless if the teammate makes the shot or not, it was the right play. And so I have to trust you. I have to trust that if a situation comes up and I'm double teamed, I got to pass you the ball.
Right.
Now, if you miss the shot or you make the shot, it was the right play. And if you make the shot, we're going to celebrate. But if you miss the shot, I can't say, well, I should have just shot it myself anyway. No, that was the right play. And we have to trust our teammates with the ball in those situations.
Yeah.
Tell me what you think about that.
That's huge. And I just think of several situations that we've been in where you say we kind of figure that this is how things are going to be and we can kind of see it, and then it doesn't turn out that way, and it's like, okay, got to adjust. Now I'm gonna tell on myself. I am not that quick to adjust right away. I'm because then I find myself stuck and I'm thinking, Lord have mercy, what we gonna do? Because we were heading in this direction and it doesn't seem like that's now the direction that we need to go in. So now I'm stuck. What we gonna do? Right. But you're already like 2 steps ahead. Okay, that didn't work. Now we're going this way. And I'm like, wait a minute, hold on.
Right.
You know, it and so because a lot of times I want details and I want to understand, and you know, like, wait a minute, hold on, and I want it to make sense, you know, to me before I proceed further. And but then it always comes to that question after, you know, talking to God about it and praying. Okay, if I trust you, you know, you the captain, right? You the head. So you say we're gonna turn left, even if it don't quite make sense to me, we're gonna go left. Because I respect you, I respect your role, but you're the captain, you're the head of the house.
Yeah.
And so it's not for me to, you know, well, I just don't feel comfortable, so we're not doing it. You know, because we're not gonna get anywhere. Right. And so, but the thing is just respecting you, and I trust you, and that has never steered us wrong.
That's good. That's good.
It has never steered us wrong. Thank God for that.
And something that you said that was very interesting about the captain, and that's where we as men have to understand our roles as leaders and captains, is that our teams take their cues from the captain. If nobody else has a clear head, the captain has to have a clear head.
Yeah.
If no one else is calm, the captain has to be calm. Because if the captain is nervous, if the captain is frantic, if the captain loses his cool, if the captain shows fear, if the captain shows that doubt, then the team is going to take their cues from the captain. Well, if the captain thinks we're going to lose, then why are we out here trying? And so that's what is so important about men as teammates, but leaders of the team. We cannot lead from behind and have members of the team having more confidence than we do. It's so important. So we have to be able to say, I don't care if we're losing 50-0.
Right.
we're going to make this comeback.
That's right.
And it's going to be the greatest comeback in history.
Right.
And we're going to score 51 points, and they're not going to score any more. We have to have that confidence.
Right.
And if we have that confidence, our teammates say, well, shoot, if you said that we can do it,
right,
we can do it. And and that's how we have to operate. And also being a captain, you have to always be in communication with the coach.
Yeah, absolutely.
If no one else hears what the coach is saying,
right,
the captain has to hear what the coach is saying.
Yeah.
And who is our coach? The Holy Spirit.
That's it.
We have to always hear what the coach is saying. We got to hear the plays that the coach is calling and be sensitive to that. And because sometimes, and they have something that's very they have something that's new in sports and football. It's newer than it was when I played in my younger days. In the NFL, they designate a person on the field to have earpiece where the coach can speak directly into the ear of the player in their helmet. There's only one person on the field. And so they can call a play, but the coach can say, hey, I need you to change this play. I need to do something different. But there's only one person that hears it. And so that one person has to communicate that to the rest of the team so that everybody can be on the same page. Because the coach sees something that the players on the field don't see. So the thing is, in our lives, the coach is called to play. And we're about to run the play. And then the coach says, wait a second, you know what? We need to change. We need to audible. We need to do something different. We can't say, but God said, do this. How you going to tell me he said do something different? Because you said he said this. Well, he did say that, but now he's saying something different.
Right.
And what I liken this to is the story of Abraham and Isaac. God tells Abraham, take your son and go sacrifice him, go kill him on the mountain. Abraham tells his teammate, his wife, I'm taking the boy up, the one that we didn't have in our old age. We're going up to sacrifice. That's where we're going. So he didn't tell the wife the whole game plan. Right. Okay, because she probably wouldn't let the boy go, you know. So they walk up the mountain, they go up the mountain, and the boy is saying, okay, Daddy, I see the wood, I see the fire, but I know we're supposed to kill something. Where the thing at where we're supposed to be killing? And Abraham says, you know, well, God will provide. And knowing what God said, God said, kill the boy. They get up to the mountain. He ties up the boy, puts the boy on the altar, is about to kill the boy. And God says, stop. Don't kill the boy. There's a ram over there caught in the thicket. But some of us, we would have done killed the kid. Because we heard what God said. Right. So anything else contrary to what we initially heard, we will say, well, that can't be God, because I know God told me to kill him to begin with.
Got to be sensitive.
And so part of being a captain is having that radio in your ear that says, okay, God said this, but he sees something else. And he called an audible and changed the play. And so so Abraham didn't miss God to begin with. He heard God completely. But we have to, as leaders, as captains of our team, be sensitive that when when God changes the play call, and the rest of the team can't tell the captain, no, you called this play in the huddle, so this is what we're gonna run. And so that is an important part of being a good teammate one to another. And then there's nothing worse than the coach calling a play and the captain getting the wrong play call, calling the wrong play, not articulating the play that was called. And it causes, failure for the rest of the team, because the team can only run the play that they've been told to play.
Yeah. That's good. That's good. And I want to say real quick, hi, I see Sister Hogan on Captain Colin.
Yeah. So we have to do that. We have to be good teammates, good support to one another. And another thing that makes us good teammates, and to continue to use the sports analogy, is that we have to practice.
Absolutely.
You can't just jump into the game, haven't practiced, haven't spent time with one another, haven't built that chemistry. They talk about that all the time in sports, building team chemistry, and expect that you are going to win. So when people see us in public, we've practiced. We flow with each other.
Years.
It takes years because in practice you don't always get to play right in practice.
Right.
You make mistakes in practice.
Right.
But that's the purpose of practice. You fail in private so that you can succeed in public. And you're always got the coaches, under the coach's tutelage. And you got to make sure that you practice, that it's not just on game time you decide that you're going to show up and win the game.
Time.
It takes practice day after day after day. And like you said, we got to watch the tape. We have to review things. We have to look back over things. We have to see where we were successful. We have to see where we failed. We have to see where the room for error. We can say, you know what? There was an opportunity and we missed. There was an open receiver and I missed him. I missed him. So we got to make sure that we don't miss it next time. And or there was a missed assignment. The quarterback got sacked because we got a miscommunication, or the receiver didn't run the right route. All of those things happening in our family dynamics that we have to go back and practice and say, hey, okay, this is where we messed up.
Right.
And this is the thing that we need to fix.
Yeah. Showing each other grace.
Yeah.
Especially in the beginning, because it's not easy at all.
No. Very difficult.
It's very difficult because you're talking about two very different, distinct personalities that are trying to come together and form that team. And so you have to be very intentional. You have to take your time. And again, studying that individual. We were blessed. I remember when we first got engaged, you sent me 3 books.
Yeah.
3 books to read. And they were really good books, but none of that can completely prepare me for being married to you.
Right.
And so I still had to take that time. And that information was good information to have in my back pocket. But I still needed to be able to take time to just be front and center with you and get to know you and talk with you and, spend that time and spend time in prayer and asking God for wisdom and guidance on how to be the best wife or best teammate that I could be for you.
And that's good, because there's one thing to have the playbook.
Right.
and to look at the play on the playbook.
Right.
And then actually getting out on the field and practicing and executing the play.
Yes.
Because when you're reading a playbook, there's not a 300-pound lineman trying to tackle you.
Right.
You know, you can see everything is perfect in the playbook, the diagram, the angle, the arrows, and everything was perfect. But then you get into the practice and there's opposition. And then even in practice, it's still not the same as in the game, because when you're practicing against your own teammates. They're not trying to kill the quarterback. They're not trying to kill the running back. But you have an opponent in the real game that is trying to cause damage. And so that's what we have to continually do. And that is so, I cannot stress enough how important it is for us to do that. Let's talk about also, when to go back to the other analogy that they're teammates, but then they're also supporters. And sometimes some sports are individual sports. We talk about football and basketball and things of that nature. But some sports are individual sports, like tennis or singles tennis or swimming or golf or things of that nature. They're individual sports where you don't have a teammate to throw the ball to. You know, there are certain situations in our lives that the other person can't take the burden off of us. It's our burden. But what they can do is encourage us. They're in the stands. They're fans. They're cheering us on. They are wearing our shirts. Saying, I'm a fan. They got their pom poms. You know, and things of that nature. And realize that that we have to learn how to cheer one another on.
Oh yes, absolutely.
We have to cheer. We have to cheer one another on. We have to be supportive of one another like nobody else. Should nobody support, cheer for you, push you, encourage you more than me? If someone is doing that more, then I got a problem. And no one should want to see you win more than me. And so tell me about the thought process in your mind about being a support and a cheerleader and waving those pom-poms, because we think about doing it for our kids. And I keep going back to that because we think about being soccer moms or football dads and cheering our children on. But we still got to do that for one another.
Oh, absolutely. And I think it gives you life. It gives you the ability to be able to push on. I remember when I went back to school, and you know, I had so much self-doubt and I just thought I couldn't do it. But you were definitely my number one cheerleader and supporter. And you can do it. And you know, finish my bachelor's degree. You was like, okay, you can go now and get that master's degree. And I'm like, I don't think that's possible. But you like, yes, you can. Okay, so when you going, when you starting, and again was there supporting me along the way. And so not just being encouraging while I was in my program, but then also helping me at home, you know, with the kids. And I remember when I was working on my bachelor's, you were working on your master's. So both of us are in school. So we both cheering each other on. And I know a lot of folks are, okay, both of y'all in school. That's crazy.
But we do that in this family,
but we did that, and it was such a blessing. And I think it was such a blessing for our kids because they were able to see,
yeah,
you know, okay, so while they're at the table doing homework,
yeah.
we're at the table doing homework, and they understand that we're spending time and we're studying, and this is just natural
right.
culture
Yeah.
in our house.
Yeah.
This is just what we so it's not anything foreign.
Right.
But I remember those times when we would switch off. Okay, you need to go take a nap.
Yeah.
You know, I'm coming to you and bringing you lunch while you had your second home in the library.
Right. Yeah.
You know, so but it's a blessing to be able to look back and see how we were able to accomplish so much, which could seem impossible to some because we had small children.
Right.
Our big three at the time were babies and diapers. But we were able to accomplish so much in that time, and it's because we were very serious about supporting each other.
Yeah, and that's so true, and it don't stop. I mean, I remember times where you would rustle the kids together, be like, don't bother your daddy. You know, he's working, he's trying, you know, don't just, you know, just leave him alone. I know you know, you don't see him a whole lot because he's all at the library and you want to jump on him and all that, but just give him a little bit of time and things of that nature. And it hasn't stopped.
Right.
We're still encouraging one another as you know, I'm in the candidacy phase, you know, of my doctorate. You know, making sure that I have, you know, what I need. I'm pushing you to say anything. Okay, so when is your doctoral program starting? Okay,
right.
We're going back in the fall. So we got to. So we're gonna push. So this is what are you needing? What are you going to do? And so that is just something that we do with each other. And I encourage each of you with your partners, with your mates, with your individuals that you are in relationship with. Don't want to have a good teammate. Want to be a good teammate. I think if we desire to be a good teammate, then all the other stuff will work out for us. And so I think that is a good place to put a pin in it.
Wow,
okay.
time went
I know time kind of flew today.
Yes.
But as you're looking at the Super Bowl this coming week, this Sunday, think about that. Every time a pass is thrown, or every time a tackle is made, a touchdown is scored, think about how that happened. It happened because the teammates worked together. And how can we in our relationships work together? And so until next week, next Tuesday, and once again, if you want to see us again before next Tuesday, come see us on Sunday at Grace Missionary Baptist Church in Markham, Illinois at 16650 Crawford Avenue, the corner of 167th and Pulaski, the Grace Station, where we are transforming lives and building the kingdom. We have worship service every Sunday at 10:30 a.m. sharp, and we will be done by noon, so you don't have to worry about missing any of the pre-game festivities. And this Sunday is actually Super Bowl Sunday, so we're telling everybody wear their jerseys, wear their favorite team jerseys, and all that good stuff. Come visit us,
wear your jersey.
Come visit us, come wear your jerseys. But like I said, until then, I am Edward Jones. This is
Latanya Jones,
and this is the Family First Podcast.
See you soon.
See you next week.
Go to your Apple or Google Play Store and download the WVTC Gospel Radio app today. You can also say, Alexa, play WVTC Radio Skills.
Would you like to play WVTC Radio Network?
Absolutely. Download it today.
Views made on the preceding program are not those of WVTC Radio, iNetworks Communications, or their financial supporters.
Winning victory through Christ. WVTC Allsip Chicago. An iNetworks communication station.